before we get started, I want to share something with you because it's coming in. And I didn't feel it before. I feel it now. And so as we all sort of kind of found a seat, a space, I feel this presence over here. The light feels so like pure white. I don't know. But it's really powerful. And I see it actually, like, if you will, like shining through here. So this, I guess, would be a little interesting addition addition to our practice. So today we continue that exploration of our legs, but this from a yin-ish perspective. I'm going to bring in some other style of yoga too. It has like a specific name, Vinyasa, where we do a lot of breath, stretch, and like movement with it too. So it's a very interesting style of yoga. And then we'll do some yin. Let's take a moment here to sit nice and tall and set space. And we're going to take the thumb to the pinky finger. And then just to the pad here, and you're just going to rest your hands down. It's kind of a strange feeling, but if it looks pretty, if you look through it, it looks like an enlightened eye, like a teardrop, a dewdrop. And your other fingers can rest down or whatever feels right. You can also turn your palms up if it feels more comfortable. Close your eyes, listen to your breath. Becoming aware of your breath, your breathing. Breathing in. Breathing out. And imagine the breath. Imagine how you breathe in. Imagining breathing. If you were taking the biggest breath you've ever taken. And when you press the breath out, it's like you are surrendering. So let the breath come all the way out, squeezing the navel to the lower spine. Press it in. Again, full breath. Give your breath a little bit of a sound, like what they call pranava. Sounds like the Ujjayi breath. And feel the fullness at the top of your breath before you press the breath out. And imagine that you're pressing from the top all the way down. When you get to the bottom, squeeze, what they call like mula bandha, your pelvic floor, draw it in. Your navel in, so you're pressing everything out. So the next fresh breath, you can fill the lungs. It's like a vase and you're running the purest water. And again, as you press everything out, it's like you're emptying all the way from the top, all the way down to the bottom, squeezing every drop out. It's like you're rinsing your cells. Again, 2 or 3 more big, beautiful breaths like that. With each inhale, find length. Find expansion in your body all the way around you. And as you exhale, keep all of that space. Make your legs come alive and press the outer parts of your feet and your knees down into the earth. Your hip bones, if you will. And see if you can keep extending your spine away from the pelvis. So you're creating this length, this strength, this inner awareness. So we're not just allowing gravity to pull us down, but we're using the light within us, our energy field, the energy within us, our awareness within us to hold us in the space that we've claimed here on this earth. And feel the ease of the breath. That feels easy to breathe in deeply. Easier than you think it is if you've just thought about it every day. Let me breathe deeply every day. Instead of holding on to all they say that's rubbish, the thoughts that we pound in our head. And this is a time of letting go. It's about standing tall, standing proud. Proud to be living your purpose. Find that length through the spine. Reaching through the crown of the head. Tip of the tongue behind the two front teeth. Feel the back teeth as you do that, they part. So the breath as it flows effortlessly. Breathing in like a river of light that winds from the universe all the way down into you. And winds through you, through your lungs, into your body, your bloodstream, like rivers. Running into every cell is like an ocean. A breath, that life force gives you this animation, this opportunity to be here alive in this world. Keep your eyes closed, keep all that length in your body, bring the tips of the fingers down to the mat like little spiders. Walk the tips of the fingers away from you so your arms get longer, like side to side. You may have to walk them so much that you're right on the very tippy tips of your fingers. And spread your fingers and your thumb wide away from each other, and then walk the fingers away. And you'll feel the strange stretch through your underarms too. Find the back of your neck. See if you can lengthen the back of the neck so you gently drop your chin like a tiny, tiny bit. So your upper palate becomes parallel. And then in that space, gently draw your head lightly back as if you're trying to lift the base of your skull. Keep that. Press your feet down to the ground, sit nice and tall. And inhale, take the arms up toward the sky, look up. Reach up here, use your legs to press you up. Then exhale, just turn the palms away. Breath out through the mouth. Let the arms float down. Again, sitting nice and tall. Inhale, arms swing up. Look up, stretch the front of your throat here. Reach, 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 use your legs. And then exhale. Sigh the breath out. And do that again, one more time. Reach up. Reach, reach, reach. Let's bring one hand down, doesn't matter which hand, one hand to the side. You're going to make the opposite hand's going to come over your ears. You do a side body stretch to the side that you're leaning into. Then like a windmill, you're going to come up through the center. Reach, 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 and then opposite side to side to side. And then keep flowing like you're a windmill. Side to side, and using your legs here, so you're reaching up, you press your shins into the mat. Opposite side. Even as you lean over, you don't just collapse into it, you use your legs and your feet to create space. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, opposite side. If you remember, we're going to finish off on your second side. You reach up. Exhale. So that's the last side. Then reach back up. Stretch the fingers wide open. Palms touch over the crown of the head. Thumbs melt down to the crown of the head. Anoint your third eye, your lips, your heart. What is it that's you wish to offer yourself, or you do stand at a juncture? That's Mars. There we go. Mars retrograde. There's opportunity for inner growth. What opportunity do you wish to offer yourself? Take a moment to ponder. Sometimes it just simply arises from within. Maybe the mind's silent, and that's good too. Whatever you feel, gently bow chin to heart and offer that to yourself. Resound it to the universe. They say it at least 3 times. Through your mind, through your voice. You can say it out aloud if you wish to, whisper it. And just simply say thank you. It is done. Always find form in that. And now lift your head. Softly open your eyes. Release your hands behind you. If you're sitting on something, just move that out the way. We're going to come forward into our little Malasana. We did this on Tuesday. A little young practice. So your toes can be lightly turned out. There's these options to put a block under your bottom or a blanket under your heels too. That helps. Elbows on the inside of your knees. Tailbone drips down. Heart lifts. Collarbones open wide. Soften your lips. Tip of the tongue behind the two front teeth. Eyes soft. Maybe the eyes are closed. With the eyes closed, maybe you look up between the eyebrows. A little further up. Squeeze the knees into your elbows. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. One more. Exhale, hands down. If you've got something under your heels, just move it out the way and then straighten your legs. You're going to fold forward. Make your legs wider than your hips. Toes can be lightly turned out. And then fold your elbows. And you're going to bring your hand into the crease of your elbow. Drop your head. You can softly bend your knees here. Wiggle your spine side to side. And then wiggle your head too, so that your back of your neck is soft. So the crown of the head just hangs to the earth. Press your feet, move your feet into the earth. You can lift and spread your toes here. You can bring the baby toe down all the way to the big toe. Keep your knees softly bent, but press your feet into the earth. And then you're pressing your heel and the ball of the foot into the earth. And you feel this energy coming up your shin towards your knees. So press your shin into the mat if you what that feels like. Softly bend your knees so your bottom moves back. But keep your knees strong. Press your thigh bones back. Your thighs, you want to press them further back. And then wiggle your bottom side to side and see if you can lengthen your spine over your thighs. And again, just hang forward. Even though we're allowing our body just to relax in a space, there's strength in the legs. I'm going to do 2 more deep breaths just in this place. Keep the knees soft, the head hanging down. Release the tips of the fingers down towards the mat. We're going to inhale, come halfway up. Grab a block if you have one, or a book. Or sometimes a can of beans works too. You place your left hand on that block, and the right arm's going to spiral up towards the sky. You can bend your knees here, the same sort of action we had where you bend the knees, press your thigh bones back. Look at your block, press your hand into it, but don't lean into it. You want to press into it, lift the body up. Your opposite hand, your right hand, bring it to your hips and bring the back of the hand onto your sacrum. Lengthen your spine away from your hips, so lengthen it. You can keep your knees softly bent, and this bottom hand's helping you twist your spine. But as we're twisting, you want to find your leg, especially this left leg that we're twisting away from. Press firmly into that foot and that leg, make it active. The hand that's on your spine, allow that to keep your sacrum stable. And you're twisting through your spine, so not through your hips. So keep this left hip, the left foot, leg pressing into the earth. Lengthen your spine, chin away from your chest. Stay here, breathe. If you want to, you can bring your right arm up. Twisting through the spine. Use your legs here. Lengthen your side body. Make everything nice and long. I'm going to take 2 more big breaths here. Remember your feet, especially that left leg. Inhale. Exhaling. 2 more. We're going to switch sides. So bring your right hand under your heart center. Again, you're going to keep your knees softly bent. Press a hand firmly down into the block, wherever you're using. If you're using a block, remember it has different heights. Keep those knees gently bent. Press into your feet. Press your hips back. Use your bottom hand to lengthen the spine away from the hips. You can keep this left hand onto the sacrum. The right foot now, you have to press into that right foot. Make that right leg nice and strong. Use your foot, your legs, your whole foundation to lengthen the spine. Maybe to expand into a space that you haven't been to before. Maybe it feels awkward. That's okay too. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Maybe the hand comes up towards the sky. You can keep looking down towards the ground. Remember the hand that's on the block. Don't just press into it. You press down to lift up. This is how we create space in our body. Instead of just allowing gravity to hug us down, we find that energy, that animation within our form, within our field. Take another deep breath. Exhale, you're going to come down through the middle. Just bend the knees again. Hook opposite elbow and opposite hand. Swing side to side. Release the hands down towards the mat. Heel to your feet so they're about hip distance apart. Bend the knees again. You're going to slowly start to roll up. Press your feet into the mat as you roll up. Take your time here. As the head starts to float up, and so do the hands, all the way towards the sky. You're going to look up and simply exhale, hands to the heart center, standing tall for your feet, for your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Take a moment to reinstate that intention. And look to your mat. If you've got anything on the way, just move it out the way. You don't want to fall over anything. Come to standing at the front edge of your mat, hands to the place of your heart. Find your feet. Feet about hip distance apart. You're going to soften your knees again, tuck your tailbone down, press into your heels, and then start to straighten your legs again. Find your left foot. You're going to come onto the ball of your right leg. Stay here, find your balance. Let's see if we can lift the leg up and then step it back, maybe about 3 feet, and then bring the heel down. We're going to straighten the front leg. So we're standing like in a triangle, right? Hands in place of the heart. You're going to inhale, swing the arms up. You're going to exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, and we're going to bend into this front knee. And just bend the elbows. And then we're going to inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg, and hands going to come up. Exhale, we're going to bend into the front knee, we're going to open the heart. Bend into the knee here. So we can do this little soft vinyasa. So it's an inhale. And listen carefully. And it's an exhale. I want you to exhale with me all the way to the end of this breath. So the inhale is about 6 counts. So inhaling. 4, 5, 6. Reaching the fingers up. Exhaling. You're going to bend into the front knee. Bend the elbows. 4, 5, 6. You're going to inhale. All the way up, and then every part of your inhale has movement. Every part of your exhale has movement. So the inhale is a 6 count. The exhale is a 6 count. Remember your feet as you're doing this. The next time we bend into the knee, we're going to stay there. Lift your chin, your chest, pull your elbows back, stay here, breathe. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the arms up. And listen carefully, we're going to exhale, we're going to bend into the front knee, we're going to come halfway down. Our spine is kind of parallel to the earth, and then bring the fingertips to your blocks or to the ground. So if you have blocks, you can bring them next to your front foot. We're going to inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg. Keep your spine parallel to the earth, and then exhale, bend into the front knee. The same thing, we're going to inhale. We're going to exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, straighten, stay there, straight leg. Inhale, keep your spine nice and long. Exhale, you're going to imagine you can hinge at your hip, and you're going to bring your chin to your shin. Maybe you don't come all the way down because you want to try to keep your spine nice and straight. We're going to inhale, come halfway up. You're going to exhale, going to fold in. Feel your feet on the ground. Press your feet together, like as if you're trying to squeeze the mat. Press your feet down into the mat. Engage your muscles in the legs, make them nice and strong. Micro bend to your knees. Again, inhale halfway up. And now exhale, stay with the head down towards the nose to knee or chin to shin. Use your hands here on the ground. Remember to breathe. This is where the blocks come in if you need them to make your arms longer. Just feel the back of this left hip, the back of the left thigh. You're going to pull this left thigh backwards to the hip. You can even take your thumb into the crease of your left hip and you're going to pull it back. Just hook it in and then pull it back towards the space behind you. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. One more. If the thumb is in the crease, so release it to the floor. Bend into your front knee. You're going to step this back foot forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold in. Just take notice of what the left leg feels like. Bend the knees, slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. The head's going to be the last thing that comes up, and then the hands float all the way up towards the sky. Palms are going to touch. Exhale to the hands to the heart center, standing tall, find your space. I'm going to breathe in deeply. Breathe out fully. Find your right foot. Press it down into the mat. When you press it down, find the quadricep, make it strong, but keep the knees softly bent. Come to the tips of the toes of your left foot. And then slowly just lift it up and step it back. About 3 foot, not onto the block. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up, straighten the front leg. Reach your body away from the ground, press your feet into the earth. Now again, we're going to exhale, we're going to bend into the front knee, we're going to bend the elbows. We're going to inhale, straighten. We're going to exhale, bend. Find a smile on your lips, because this feels good. Now see if we can slow it down. So we're going to inhale, we're going to straighten. We're going to exhale, we're going to bend. We're going to inhale, we're going to straighten. We're going to exhale, we're going to bend. Couple more. Take your time here, no rush. Remember, every part of movement has breath. Let's do a couple more. The deep breathing, you listen to the sound of your breath. Let's do one more. And then stay here, elbows bent. Pull the elbows back, lift your chin, your chest. Feel that opening. Feel the legs. And we're going to inhale, straighten the leg, bring the arms up. Exhale, hands come out towards the side and start to fold forward. Stay here for a moment. Pull this right hip back, left hip forward. Press your feet down into the mat and then sink your hands to the earth. Find your alignment if you felt that you needed to make an adjustment. And remember, each side can feel completely different too, and that's okay. It's just remembering how to use our body. We've never really been taught how to use our feet or our legs. You're just like, oh, they're walking. Now they can run. Tips of the fingers to the mat, lengthen the spine here. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to bend the knee. Inhale, we're going to straighten. Exhale, we're going to bend. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Straighten. Bend the knee. Find your breath as you do this. Every part of movement has breath. Every part of breath has movement. There's no rush to get anywhere. Use your feet. Remember by pulling this right hip back. the whole time you want to keep pulling this right side back. There's a tendency for the hip to want to shorten that side of your body too. You know, our hips to get tight. Take one more. And then the next time you straighten your legs, you're going to stay. Stay up here. Tips of the fingers even on the block here. Make your feet, your legs nice and strong. There's a micro bend to the knee. You're not going to press through the back of your knee. Inhale here. Then exhale. Think about bringing your chin towards your shin. Maybe you don't come all the way down. You just keep the spine long. And again, inhale. Lengthen the body. Exhaling, finding space. We're moving back into formlessness. The more we lift our vibration, become lighter. So inhale. Exhaling. If anything comes up, you can just press it out your mouth like us. All the way to the bottom. Inhale. Big breath in, always filling the lungs all the way to the top. Exhaling. This in itself is a meditation. It's a breath meditation. It's breath-centric yoga. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Find as much length in your body as you can. And now you fold forward. Maybe you're reaching your chin to your toes even. Or maybe you round your spine, whatever feels good. You can bring that right thumb into the crease of the right hip and you're going to press that back. Think about sit bones are coming towards each other. Back foot is pressing into the front foot. So the back foot gives you power. The front foot is drawing back as well as hip back. Take another deep breath. And inhale, lift your head, step the back foot forward, feet about hip distance apart. You're going to fold in, just bend your elbows again, soften your knees, fold forward, just feel the difference in your legs. Inhaling, exhaling. Make your feet a little bit wider. Again, you can just fold forward. You're going to take your hands and we're just going to start to gently tap the back of our leg. Just tap the back of our leg like this. And tap your bottom. And it's a nice tap. It's got a rhythm to it. And tap a little bit on the outside of your legs. You also tap on the inside of your feet and your ankles. All the way up your legs, up your knees, around your thighs. And then just sweep your hands down your legs. You're just sweeping, like flicking your hands down your legs. You're sweeping anything on the inside all the way down to just. And then we just simply run our hands. We're not even going to touch the body, just from the top of our hips all the way down. You spread your fingers wide so you get the backs of the legs and maybe a little bit of the sides of the legs. You're going to bring your hands down, the backs of the legs. All the way towards the heels. You're going to wrap it around the outer part of your ankle bones. All the way to your toes, from the inside of your toes, all the way up your inner ankles. Just run your hands up the inside of your legs. And then you can just flick your fingers and bring your fingertips down towards the mat. Feel your legs. Again, walk them back so they're about hip distance apart. You can bring your blocks underneath your shoulders here. Find your feet. Look at your feet and make sure that they're parallel. So as if you were standing on two parallel lines. You look at your second toe. They should be in alignment, and then it makes a line all the way up the center line of your leg. So you want to keep all of this in alignment, but you don't want to press your knees back so much that you hurt your joints. There's always a softness, so the energy flows. If it's rigid, it gets stuck, it gets too tight. So keep your knees softly bent, look at your feet, lift the toes wide open, spread them, bring them from the baby toe all the way down towards the mat. pull your feet. We did this last week. Find your inner arches. There's a seam that runs up the legs here. Pull that energy. It's energetic up the inside of your legs. You feel your muscles shrink to your bones as you do so. It gives your legs power. So we're going to inhale, come halfway up. You can bring your fingertips onto blocks if it feels good. We're going to lengthen the spine here. Wiggle at your bottom. And then we're going to bring our weight forward. The same thing that we were stretching forward when we're doing the legs apart. We're going to fold in. You can walk your fingertips back or keep them on the blocks, or you can even hold on your outer ankles. You're thinking about lengthening your spine. So maybe you're not all the way in. You want to keep that micro bend through the back of your knees. You want to keep that energy, especially in your quadriceps. We're finding our hamstrings. Press your feet equally down into the earth. Think about lengthening your spine. So even if you're just halfway, that feels good. And then let it all go. Bring your hands back up so you can come halfway up. Soften your knees here and wiggle out your bottom. Just doing this in itself works your legs out, because we're finding all this energy through our legs. It's a sort of kinetic energy. Again, inhale, lengthen your spine here. Feel your spine as it bounces that way and your hips go this way. Press your feet down and this energy comes back up your legs. Find all of that space. That's why lift your toes up here. Spread them wide open. You'll feel that your feet will be so tired after doing this, after practice, but you'll see that your feet will change, and then you feel the inner arches and you pull the energy all the way up your inside seams into your groins here. You'll see your groins will soften, so lengthen your spine here. You're going to keep all of this length, and now you're going to start to fold in, keeping this length, softly straightening the legs, so keeping that softness to your knees. Quadriceps are strong. You can bring your hands to your outer ankles or heels and pull yourself in. Think about keeping your spine long instead of rounding too much, but you can also round if it feels good. You can squeeze your chin to your chest. You can do a little bit of that too, where you lift and round, and so that feels like it has this little vinyasa to it too, where you lift and round. At the same time, we're helping out our brain, having a little inversion here. We'll do 2 more, and then we'll stay for a moment longer. We just allow our body to sink down. The weight of your upper body is lengthening over your legs. Your navel falls into your spine. Let's do 2 more breaths here. Feel your legs working for you, not just falling asleep. And then slowly going to inhale, come halfway up. Feel your legs. And then the heel to your feet so they're a little bit wider. And your toes are going to turn outwards. You're going to bend the knees here. Keep your blocks where you're close to you and bring your hands into your knees. So like we're in this little goddess pose here. So I don't know if you can feel this. Maybe your legs feel like they're working. Use your hands here. So this is a little rest. Maybe your legs feel a bit tired, so press your knees back. At the same time that you press your knees back, press your knees into your hands. Take your tailbone and tuck it underneath you. Stay here and breathe, and we're going to get another break out of this in a second. So use your hands on your thighs, press your knees back. Find your feet, press them down, tuck your tailbone underneath you so you're doing a little bit of a scoop. And then you do that whole action again where you press the knees into your hands, the feet down, tucking the tailbone underneath you. Keep squeezing the knees into your hands. Take 1 more deep breath. As you can sink a little lower. Here we go. And then we're going to straighten the legs. Whew. Hands towards the sky. Reach up like this. Reach, 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 reach. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to bend the knees, bend the elbows. Drop your bottom. Press your knees back. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, press the knees back. You can close your eyes too. It feels good. Breathe in here, breathe out. Press the knees back when you bend and see if you can come always a little deeper. And what we're doing too is stretching open this whole space, moving into these inner thighs, into our groins. The whole time when we bend down, think about the tailbone coming down and sort of down towards the ground, wrapping. and gentle, but not too much. We don't want to be like an extreme of anything. Inhaling, exhaling. Pull those elbows down to your outer ribs even, and pull them together like wings. Reaching, we'll do a couple more. Stretching here, exhaling. A little workout for the inner thighs, right? Inhaling, exhaling. Let's do one more. Reaching, big reach, big reach, big breath. And then bend the knees, stay here. Goddess, the goddess that you are. Close your eyes. Find your right heel, lift it up. Bring that heel down, opposite heel. Down. Lift your heels like a millimeter, like a tiny. Then a little higher, a little higher. Your highest if you can, and drop your bottom. Press your knees away from you, then heels down, hands on your inner thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop right shoulder, look over your left. Press your knees down. Or knees back with your hands in your hands. Your knees press into your hands. Come through center, opposite side. Two more big breaths. One more. Come through center, release your fingertips down towards the mat. Keep your knees bent just for a moment here. One more. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. And then slowly straighten your legs. Bring your feet so they parallel. If you have your blocks, you can keep them there. You're going to inhale, come halfway up. Lengthen here. We take a little rest. We're going to fold forward. You can use your hands on your outer shins to pull you down towards the mat. Drop the crown of your head, move it. Belly breath, breathing in, breathing out. Let your spine drape down, softness to the back of your knees. And then inhale, come halfway up. You bring your block underneath your heart center. Press your left hand down into the block. We've been here similarly before. Bring your right hand onto your sacrum, that flat bone. Back of the hand, you press into your bottom hand to twist the spine. Bring your weight back into that left foot. Pull that right shoulder and elbow back. Twist through your spine and not through your hips, so bring the weight back into this left heel. And right arm can spiral up towards the sky if it feels comfortable. If you want, you can even take this arm behind you and find the inside of your left thigh. If the hand wraps behind you, pull the elbow away from your lower spine. Chin lightly away from your chest. Lean back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. The hands behind the spine. Reach it back up. Reach, 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 reach. Find your inner left thigh. What does that feel like? And then bring the right arm down. Left arm spirals up towards the sky. Again, chin away from the chest. Hand reaches. Bring the weight back into this right heel. Remember, don't twist through the hips. You bring your hand onto the back of the sacrum. Keep it in alignment. Imagine that you could balance a bowl of water. Reaching the chest, spine away from the pelvis. It's like you corkscrewing your spine. Bring the weight back into that right foot. Maybe the left hand floats up. And lean back into that space. Use the top hands to lift you up. Remember, the bottom hands just for stability. It's to help you lift up. Maybe this top hand, you can bend the elbow, bring the hand behind you. When it grabs the inner thigh, it helps you to lift it up and keep it in integrity. That's what we've been asked to do, is to be in integrity. Integrity with that which is true. Remember, we don't have to fit into every box. And not every box is made for you. Let's take another deep breath. There we go. Exhale the breath out. Inhale, hand reaches up. Lean back. Exhale, fold forward again. You move the block out the way. Bend your elbows. Let your body just pendulum down. Between your legs, you can shake your upper body. And slowly walk your hands forward. So keep the legs where they are. So bring your hands a little bit wider than the shoulders. Your upper body is like this extended downward facing dog, if you will. Your legs are really wide. Your upper body is going to drape down as if it's like a hammock. Now you can explore with your hands. Maybe it feels better with your hands closer or wider. Depends on your shoulders. But you want to allow your weight to, your legs to feel a stretch. But it's like almost, it's not extreme stretch. It feels like the back tissue is being lengthened by itself. It's got an energy to it, if you will. And then your upper body is just relaxed. Your hands are like those ropes on the hammock. Your shoulders, your back of your heart melts down. Your eyes can be closed. And then connect to the rhythm of your breath. You breathe in. Really connect to the inhale. The exhale. Your navel coming into your lower spine. Let your shoulders soften, your face, your eyes. Take a couple more deep breaths in this way. Remember your feet on the ground. Don't let them go to sleep. Lift your toes, spread them wide open. 2 more big breaths here. I just popped up onto the tips of my fingers. It feels really good in my shoulders. You can try that. 1 more big breath. Out through the mouth, you're going to sigh the breath out. And so you walk the hands back towards the midline of your mat here. Turn your right toes out. You need to bend into the right knee. We're going to come into Skandasana. So it's also a little bit of a rest, maybe from what everything we've been doing with this forward folding. You extend through this left leg. Your back heel can be lifted, or your heel can be on the ground. You can have your fingers on the ground, or you can have your hands at the place of your heart. You have to press into this right foot. You have to make sure it's wide awake. Your outer hip, your right hip, you want to pull it gently back. This left leg, you're extending through it. It's getting a nice inner thigh stretch. We're getting slowly into that hip joint. Take another deep breath, spread your toes on both feet. And then gently walk your hands across to the opposite side. Make any adjustments that you need. Maybe something you're like, oh, I need something under my heel. Do that. It's a deep stretch. Now also, if you can't get all the way down here, you can also be right up here. You can also put a block under your bottom or something under your bottom to hold you up. Find this extension through this lengthening leg. Spread your toes wide open. Your tailbone, it's dripping down towards the ground. There's an awareness of that. Your left foot, spread your toes wide open. You want to feel your toes, especially that baby toe. Find that. Your inner arch. You're pulling that left hip lightly back behind you. Creates strength. Creates awareness. Let's do 2 more. And hands down towards the mat. We're going to walk back to the center line of our mat. We're going to inhale, come halfway up. We're going to exhale, we're going to fold in. And then simply heel toe your feet together. You look at your legs, you look at your feet, spread the toes wide open. Reach your spine forward. Exhale, going to fold in. Let's inhale, reach the hands up towards the sky. We're going to come up, reach up here, press your feet, legs into the mat. See what your legs feel like. Gentle side body stretch to one side. It doesn't matter which way you go. You're going to inhale through center, reach up. Exhale, opposite side. reach up. Again, exhale. Last side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, open your chin and your chest. And then inhale, reach up. Palms touch. Exhale, just fold forward, hinging at your hips. Heart leads, head to the knees. Oopsie daisy. Inhale, halfway up. Let's just step back to a high plank just for a moment here. Breathe in. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Ashta Namaskar. Elbows back, point the toes. Inhale, roll your shoulders up to your ears. And back, lift your heart. Bend your knees, bring your hips to your heels, big toes to touch. Stay here, breathe. Walk the hands towards the right side of the mat, all the way across, so you make a nice big side body stretch. If it feels nice, you can do a little twist where you do a prayer twist where you bend the bottom elbow and the top hand reaches into the bottom hand. If that feels good, it gives a little bit of leverage. Think about lengthening the spine and pressing your left hip back towards the left heel. Take one more big breath. And release the hands down, walk the hands to the opposite side. And the whole time while you're in your child's pose, press your tops of your feet into the mat. Bend this right elbow, maybe you take prayer twist. Again, this right hip, press it back towards your right heel. Think about lengthening through the spine. Bottom hand presses into top hand. Top hand presses into bottom hand. Find your breath as you inhale. Find your exhale. Slowly release all of that. Walk the hands back towards the center line. And then slowly hands back towards you, curling the chin to your chest. Curling yourself all the way up. Sitting for a moment. Your weight on your heels. Feel the fronts of your legs. We've been working our legs. Sometimes the fronts of our legs, the feet can feel fatigued and worked out after such practices. You can bring your hands behind you and you're going to just lift like the right knee up. So you're stretching the front of this right foot, the front of the ankle bone. And then you can try the opposite side. And then come forward and then bring one hip down and you extend the leg straight out in front of you. And this is good where you have like a strap. If you need a strap or you have a scarf or something. It's also good to place, where the blanket is, like a blanket underneath your bottom. So if you have like a tight lower back, when we do forward folds, it's essential that you take care of your back. Even when we're folding forward, that's why you don't always straighten your legs all the way up. So you can put your bottom, it doesn't have to even be high. Maybe it's like an inch or so. And sometimes that's better than anything that's high up. You can bring your hands and your hips. You can imagine that your pelvis is like a bowl of water. You can do this whole inner spiral in your legs where you take your hand on the inside of your leg and you spiral it down. You just gently, it's like you're moving the skin more so. You move the flesh from your sit bone. You can do each side, so it's this inner spiral. You're going to press the elbows, the ankles together and the balls of the feet. Everything's coming towards the midline. Your inner thighs, you should feel them working. You bring your hands into your inner thighs. And then inhale, bring your arms up, reach up. Reach, reach, reach. And then we're going to fold forward. We're going to go for the feet. So this is where your strap comes in. You want your arms to be straight. You don't want to be like holding like that. You want your arms straight. You know, look at your toes, spread them wide open. Flex your feet. Use your arms and your spine to inhale to lengthen. We're going to exhale. We're going to fold in. We're going to do this little inhale to lengthen. We're going to exhale. We're going to fold in. We're going to do that a couple more times. We're going to inhale to lengthen. We're going to exhale, we're going to fold in. Maybe only coming halfway down because your spine's still fairly straight. So we inhale, lengthen, exhale. Trying to move your body out of your pelvis. Pressing your thigh bones down, keeping your feet engaged, your legs, that energy. The next time you come forward, you're just going to stay. Long, slow, deep breathing. Just breathing in and breathing out. So Paschimottanasana, this forward folding, west facing. I say it's a very contemplative space. When we're going into ourselves, time to be still, quiet. So quieten the mind, feel the legs pressing down, feel your feet press through the soles of your feet. You want to anchor your hip bones down to the earth. Thigh bones down. Keep reaching through the inside seam too of your legs. If you can make your heels on the inside a little bit longer. 2 or 3 more big breaths. Just breathing in, breathing out. And hands down to the ground. Use your hands to walk your body back up. Take your time here because you've been in this forward fold. Walk yourself all the way up. Sit with the hands turned down on the thighs. Don't move, just stay there. Think about, remember when we were seated before, how we could lift the body up out of the pelvis. Pressing the legs, the feet, hips down into the mat. We'll do 2 more. If you're on your blanket, just scoot yourself off of that and you can actually bend your knees here. Here's an optional extra. If you have a blanket or something, you can fold it in like, so it's maybe like a 2-inch like height, but it's flat at the top, it's not super round. Or you could do something even thinner than that and you're going to put this to the side. Put this behind me, this way. Keep your legs together. Use your arms, bring them up. We're going to round our spine, bring the hands forward, squeeze your navel into your lower spine, squeeze your inner thighs together. We're going to gently take our time to roll the spine out, thinking that we're unfurling the spine, vertebra by vertebra. So it's as we're unrolling it, feel this, your navel, below your navel, drawing in and out. So each vertebra gets longer. You're giving yourself a little chiropractic adjustment here. All the way down. Feel the upper spine unravel. Keep your chin to your chest and the head unravels. Walk the feet in towards you. Pull the knees into your chest. Keep the back of your head still on the mat. Rock the spine side to side. Hands behind the knees. We're going to inhale, straighten the legs. Heels towards the sky. Exhale, knees into the chest. And bend the knees. Inhale, straighten the legs. Press the feet towards the sky. Your hands rest behind your knees. And as you exhale, you pull your knees into the chest. Keep your feet flexed. We inhale, we straighten. Exhale, we pull the knees into the chest. Keep going with your breath. Next time the legs are straight, just stay there. Make your whole spine nice and long. Press your navel in towards the ground and then take your thumbs and you're going to hook it underneath your, just place them underneath your sacrum. Elbows are slightly bent out to the side. Draw your navel in towards your lower spine now. Flex your feet and you're going to slowly begin to lower your legs down towards the mat. You can take your time here, or if this is too difficult, you can bend your knees. If you're feeling it in your lower spine, you want to scoop your tailbone forward and up and your navel in towards your lower spine. Now come all the way down softly towards the mat and think about reaching your heels away from the crown of your head. as they come all the way down towards the mat. Once you come down, take your thumbs out from underneath you, reach your arms up towards the sky, reach up, flex your feet. So take your arms over your head towards the floor above your head, and then reach the arms away from you. Flex the feet so much that the heels are off, spread the toes wide open. Big breath in here. Exhale, just soften everything. Keep your arms where they are. And then again, inhale, you're going to reach through your heels and your arms. You're reaching your body, your underarms are getting a stretch, your heels are getting a stretch, your toes. And then exhale. Last time, you're going to inhale, stretch. Stretch the body as long as possible. And then just sigh the breath out the mouth. And then bring your arms down just to rest next to the sides of the body. If you wanted to and you wanted to put your blanket underneath you, you could bend your knees again and scooch this underneath your hips. If you did this, you want to round the spine back down onto that. So it's a little bit of an elevation in your hips, a little bit of a soft back bend since we did all that forward folding. And just allow the body to rest now. Feel the space of your breath. And your breath, which is formless, gives life. Like the amazing miracle of the breath. So, as you lay here in the space, really enjoy each breath. It's like sipping the finest nectar. The nectar that's been created just for you. And each dewdrop of this nectar is life-giving, life-enhancing. And knowing that this is infinite, endless. And the breath is like a key, it leads you deeper too. And it leads you deeper and deeper into knowing you. I do not walk alone through life. Whatever happens in my life today, I know it is a part of my journey. If I am happy, I will not take my happiness for granted. If I am sad, I will remember that times will change. If there is conflict, I will pray for a miracle. If there is fear, I will pour forth my love. Every moment is part of a divine curriculum, and I do not wish to avoid its lessons. I open my heart today to the fullness of existence, praying to receive its blessings, no matter what they are. So finding your breath, finding your breathing, allowing your awareness to slowly grow with every breath, feeling more refreshed and revitalized, with every breath more expanded, enlightened. Allow your awareness to grow as you find your toes and your fingers, your nose. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the nose. Make some circles with the wrists. Make some circles with the feet. Make your head rock side to side. That feels comfortable. And slowly start to reach your hands away from your feet. Lengthen out your body and make it as tall, as long as possible. Open your mouth. Stick out your tongue. Squeeze your eyeballs with your eyelids. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then gently roll to whichever side feels comfortable. Gently pull the knees to your chest. You can even wrap your arms around your knees and give yourself a little hug. That feels good too. Take a moment to reflect at the opportunity at hand and before you, to recognize how supported you are as you move into the world. And the gift is that we simply have to live into our purpose. Our life is our purpose. To drop all the things that block us, the fear, the worry, and see the path as it is illuminated before us. And the gift that you give yourself each day is to show up, to take a moment of stillness, quietness, prayerful moment, meditative moment, and be guided. Bring your hands to the earth, press yourself back up. Once you find your seat, place your hands over the place of your heart, pressing one palm on top of the other. Feel your roots root into the earth, your legs, your feet press down, your spine grows longer and taller. Find the length of your neck. Breathe in here, feel your breath. Breathe all the breath out. And as breathing as one. Exhaling chin to heart, offering gratitude for the space and all that life offers us each day, and this awakened state. And so from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I deeply appreciate you. So I'm going to take a card. I decided to read with this one particular deck that I don't really read with. It's kind of based on tarot. So it's a really thick deck. It's really thick. And the cards is, it's like pretty hard. But I thought like tarot kind of gives you this like, it's like the aunt that tells you the way it is. She doesn't beat around the bush. That's what I think tarot is. She's like, this is how it goes, honey. Listen up. But this also gives a little bit of a, Oracle is very inspiring. It's all going to work out. Here we look a little bit at the subconscious, the psychology of what is needed. All of it, actually. We're looking at our psychology, what is needed. So, with all of that, take a moment to close your eyes. Settle into your breath. And like this, it says life experience. What we're kind of talking about. The number on the card is 16. It's the Tower. And this is actually funny in a way because I did a reading last night, 2 readings for somebody in South Africa. And this was the message, and it was kind of playing through, crystal clear through both the readings. And I said it was about this belief systems. Let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. It's also the structure of the world that we're in. It says an important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. So it's like there's this pathway, and we can actually see what we're seeking is closer than we expect it to be. Though what we're seeking is not the end of the story, there's still this way through. What we're seeking is just only a doorway. So life that it shows up, each step that we've taken, each step is like perfectly placed upon your path. And this is a pathway there. It's steps. In fact, it's so easy. The path has been paved for you. So if we look back at our life experiences, the life experiences that we've experienced are here to propel you. Again, let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. So the old paradigm, we know it doesn't work. That old psychology doesn't work anymore. There is something that from ancient times were known before. And it's even more than that, what we think it is. What we think things are, it's even further than that. There's an idea that I sometimes introduce people to as like, think about the universe and how vast the universe is in your mind. How far you think it is, the potential edge of the universe. But know that that's actually not the edge, because it's even more than you can imagine. At least, hopefully that makes sense. It's like, it's more than what we think it is. The potential is there. The potential within inside of us is there. This is like this claiming of this intelligent part of our being. This is opportunity. We've been dumbed down to believe that that's not real. She's got a thing about a tail. She likes to chase a tail. It's really funny. Yeah, so let us let go of all old belief systems. Times are changing, and it says leads to significant opportunity. So that's why worry is an old paradigm too. You have to let the worry go. There is something new, and something new is like a light that's, and this is like reminding me, this light that's shining through. and we're yet not to see it because we're not ready to see it, because we still have so many steps that we still need to go through and take, and we still need to go through these doorways, these initiations. So we can even think, like, if we go on this journey of Mars, with Mars, like a reflection of everything that's passed the last like 6 months or so. What did we see, and what came up for us, especially our anxieties? Each of them are initiation in their own way. So everything's about how can we grow life experience. So hopefully that made some sense. Thank you from my heart to yours. May you always be blessed. Namaste.